So now we're going to look at some of the tools that are available in Procreate. I want you to go to the tab of your iPad and hit on Procreate. Just pause this little video anytime it gets a little bit too quick. You're going to go to the gallery. Make sure everybody's in the gallery. You'll see at the top, there's different choices. Sometimes it's select, import, photo. We don't want to click on those. We are going to make a new picture. So you're going to hit the plus sign and go ahead and select screen size. You'll see it along the top. And that's going to open up a just blank page for you. We're going to just go through the tools together. So if you click on the brush tool, it's the first one. It looks like a brush. You'll see there's lots of different things. Go ahead and make some scribbles. You can try different brushes. They have lots of different kinds of brushes. That one makes a weird shape. You'll see on the side that you can change the size of the brush, and you can also change the opacity. So that first one that goes up and down changes the size. See how it's changing the size of my brush. And the second one changes the opacity. That's how dark it is. Sometimes people are like, oh, my drawing's not working. And I'm like, that's because you made it completely see-through. On the bottom there, you'll also notice that there's a back sign. That is good if you don't like what you just did. So go ahead and take some time playing around with that. Next, we're going to go to the smudge tool, that little finger. It smudges stuff. You can also change the opacity and the size of your smudginess. After the smudging tool is the eraser. You can change how you erase and the size and opacity of your eraser tool. That erases. The next one, I'm still erasing. Great. Erasing. The next tool that we're going to look at, that's the back button. The next tool we're going to look at is layers. This is the most important one. You guys can add new layers. Keep in mind, you always want to be working on a layer. You're going to be tracing over a background image, and if you're not tracing on an invisible layer, then you're just drawing on your picture, which is lame. So make sure you have 2 layers selected. You can tell that they're selected because the selected one is blue and the other one is not. You can also change by holding down. You can move the layer so that one goes above the other one or below it, and you can move the layers around. So you can take something like the line drawing that you have, or maybe you're coloring it, and you can put it behind something else. So notice there's 3 layers there. You can also make the layers invisible or visible by checking them or unchecking them. And you can change the background color. So if you click on that background layer, you can move around the circly things and you can create a color. The next and last thing is that little circle, and that's how you can change the color of your lines, of your brushes. You generally want to keep them black for the outlines, but when you're making other things, you know, maybe you want to have rainbows shooting out of your ears or something like that, or flames coming out of your feet, then you can look different brushes and change the colors and do different stuff like that. So the next one is a selection tool. We're not really going to use that. That one is also a selection tool. I don't really know how to use those guys too much. I guess you can make adjustments and like change the color of different selections. Those ones over there on that other side are not really that important. The wrench is, though. The wrench is super important. If you want to insert a picture, you can insert a photo and put something in your background to create a cool background layer. And also, when you're tracing your image, you're going to insert a picture as well. So the wrench is also good for saving. We're going to go into the wrench later. So when you're ready, you guys are going to go to your photos, go back to gallery. I did that really fast. You go back to gallery, you go into your photos, and you find the picture that you want to trace. It's taking me a long time to decide which picture. So go into gallery, hit plus or photo, and upload your picture. Then you're going to zoom in. The way that you zoom is by taking 2 fingers and opening them up on the iPad, and you can zoom in a lot. You want to zoom in a lot when you're tracing. And then select a black color. I don't know why I have a peach there, or beige or whatever. Oh, if you hold your finger down, you can actually change the color to be whatever color is in the picture. But we're going to be choosing a black for our outline. Make another layer. The first thing you need to do is go into those layers and make another layer so that when you draw on it, you're drawing another layer. You don't want to just draw on your picture, because if you draw on your picture, then when you take your picture away, you'll be left with no line drawings. So make sure that you are drawing in layer 2, not layer 1. Hit plus, make a second layer, zoom in, and that's what you're going to be tracing on. Go ahead and double check like 800 times, because if you do it wrong, you're going to have to do it all over again. So you want to make sure that you're tracing directly on the line, not next to it. You're tracing on that line where your hair is, or your nose, or whatever the heck it is. The closer you get, the more detailed your picture is going to be. Like, you can be a little bit off, but you want to try and be exactly on that line where you end and the world begins. So zoom in, you go around, double check, make sure you check your layers, and just trace and trace and trace. The more detail you have, the better it looks. So just take your time. Before you know it, you'll have this whole thing traced out, and then you can start coloring it and do cool things in the background. All right. Have fun.